Hi, we are here with the one, the only Pinky.
Pinky
Hello.
Patel,
How are you?
welcome.
Pinky
Good.
Patel.
We're gonna sing this intro.
Apparently.
Yeah, always. You know me. We're so excited to have you today. We want to talk about a little bit of your journey on the social media machine.
The ticky tack.
What a wild ride that always is on the ticky-tack.
It's
Um,
not people I don't know. That's the number one question. Like, how did this all start? And I'm just like, are not going to believe it even after I tell you, because even I'm like, is that what really happened? Like, I have to go back and make sure. And like a lot of this is in my stand-up routine, just because this is a question that people ask all the time. Like Nate said, how did you get started? What was your first
yeah.
viral video? Just things that people want to know, right? Because I've gotten this comment from somebody. I do have vlogs on YouTube, like longer vlogs, and I'm slowly starting to put more. And I say every week, I'm like, oh, I should just start doing a weekly vlog, because I feel like a lot of people are following me on this journey, if you will, and they just want to know
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
going on. But I just don't have the time. Like, if you don't know
Yep.
this about me, I value my sleep. Like, if I had a choice of, Pinky, here's a plate of food, your favorite food in the whole world, and here is an opportunity to sleep for 12 hours, I would
Ooh.
pick 12-hour sleep.
Yes.
Like,
I'm with you.
yeah.
Yes.
And so whatever like I will start calculating how much sleep I'll get if I go to bed a certain time and I wake up a certain time by lunch. Like, I'm like, okay, if I can go to bed at 8:30, I can get like 12 hours. And I think that's
Yeah.
good. Like, that's what goes through my head, right?
Yeah.
People are like, what's always going on through your head? I don't think you want to know. It's not a
Yeah.
safe zone in there.
Well, is that hard
Um,
to get 12 hours with your roommates?
oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like I'm tempted, like, maybe you want some children's NyQuil to help out,
Yeah.
but I don't. There's a different inside versus outside, like I said.
Yeah.
This woman asked me, and I felt it was a little aggressive, which is hard, right? Because it's a comment. There were no caps, but maybe it was just that was the mood I was in that day when I read that comment. But she wrote, you only have 6 months worth of stuff on YouTube. Where's the rest? Like, she accused me of holding my content hostage.
Come on.
And I was like, first of all, ma'am, if I want to hold my content hostage, I will, because it's
Yeah.
my content.
Right.
And second of all, there's only 6 months worth of vlogs, because that's when I started. Like,
Yeah.
I was never in social media. Like, I only at most had Facebook, and that was to share pictures of my roommates with my mom, who's in Connecticut.
Yeah.
I'm in Chicago, she's in Connecticut.
Yeah.
I didn't want to send pictures, they get ruined in the mail, stuff like that. So I would post on my private Facebook. My brother would show our mom back home, because they live together there. And that's what I used it for. I didn't use it for anything else. I was like, this is the stupidest thing in the world. I hate all of these people. There's always somebody who is asking for attention. There's somebody else who's always doesn't know what they're talking about, but has political views. There's another
Political.
person that's always showing me their perfect family, when I know I just had dinner with her and she was complaining about her husband. Like, I
Yeah.
hate that. Like, I hate fake people. I just
Yeah.
cannot stand fake people. And again, this stuff is in my bit, so I don't want to like ruin
Yeah.
it in
Yeah.
case you guys get to see it or stuff. But
Yeah.
the very first video, so in 2019 December, so about 2 years ago, I started posting random thought of the day on Facebook, like on my private Facebook. And I honestly didn't I don't have a lot of followers on my private, because it's really just people I actually know in real life.
Yeah.
It's not like people I met on the internet just recently. I keep that separate now, because you have to, safety first. They were liking it, right? Like, my friends were liking it, friends from back home and whatever. So I was pretty good. I was proud of myself. I did that for like from December of 2019 to literally when we went into quarantine, March 13th, 2020. Like, I was religiously posting a random thought of the day every day. People who know me, people like, again, because it was my private account, they've been to like out drinking with me, so they know how I can get when I get
Yeah.
worked up, and so they're reading it in my voice in their head, and it's
Yeah.
perfect,
Yeah.
right? And then quarantine happened, and my best friend Melissa, she was like, I was complaining because I had never spent so much time with my roommates. Quarantine
Yeah.
was the first time I had spent that much time with them,
Yeah.
because as a parent, as a significant other, we're going to work for 8 hours, and then we're commuting, and we're dropping like you don't realize how hectic your life is until you're forced to stop that hectic life, which is what
Mhm.
happened,
Yeah.
right? And so the first 2 weeks were great of quarantine. We were like, oh my God, let's watch movies. And then the third
Yeah.
week, I was like, get away from me. Get away
Yeah.
from me.
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
luckily our house is big enough. We all have our own spaces. We're not on top of each other. So my friend Melissa was like, just turn the camera on, Pinky, and just vent to the camera and then post them on either Facebook or YouTube. So I did that for a while. And March was also the time I downloaded TikTok like everybody else
Yeah.
in 2020. And immediately I was like, immediately no, 1,000% no. I
Immediately
am
no.
not doing this.
Immediately no.
Immediately no. I can't dance. I can't lip sync. I can't sing. Like, that's what in my head, that's what that was, because it went from Vine to TikTok to
Right.
whatever. And everything I had seen in March and April, that's what it was. And I'm like, this is stupid. And you're scrolling. And I was like, no. After 2 days, I uninstalled the app from my phone. Uninstalled it. Did not want anything to do with it. And then in the summer of that year, my friends kept sending me clips. Like, 3 years ago, we were sending memes to each other. Now we send TikToks to each other, right?
Yeah.
Like in group chat. So they're sending me all these like TikTok clips and stuff, videos, and I'm just like, what? Wait a minute. I thought this was for dancing.
Yeah.
Now people are funny. There's tips
Yeah.
and tricks. What the hell is this? And
Yeah.
so I kind of went back on, and again I went to my friend Melissa, and I was like, so what do you think? What do you think I should? Do you think I shouldn't? She's like, I mean, like, what do you have to lose? Like any best friend, let's push her to do something stupid. So she's like, just take your last vlog, which is hilarious because it was me complaining about grapes of all things. It was just me complaining about grapes. Yeah. And so I go into this is fucking grapes. All right. I hate any produce that is making me work just to eat it. And like grapes, like you have two life choices. You can either be wine grapes or you could be eating grapes. If you decide to be eating grapes, you have to just, you made your bed and like, don't hang on to the goddamn branches, like the branches and then the mini branches and the grapes are dang. It's just like, what are you doing? Like, just accept it. Like, why does it take me 45 minutes for not even a 1 pound bag of grapes to like get them ready for roommate number 3 to eat? Like, I don't get it. I'm getting fired up right now because I had to do it yesterday, and I'm just like,
What about a pomegranate? Don't even get you started.
no, don't.
Oh
no. Grapes, avocados, pomegranate. No.
Yeah.
Mangoes. I love mangoes, but I don't eat them because it's too much work. Unless
It's
somebody
exhausting.
cuts it for me, I don't like. I mean, I grew up in a mango field. I don't like.
It's too much. It's too
So
much.
it was 60 seconds of me complaining about grapes. And it's just because it's stupid. It's just I could be sleeping in that time. What did I tell you? I value my sleep. I could be sleeping in that time. And so then now here we are.
Here we are.
So it was the grape video?
Melissa.
It was the grape video. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Stop.
She's cursing herself now, Melissa.
Yeah.
This is getting out of control.
It's getting out of hand.
Getting out of hand. This is not where I intended it to go. I was like, too late now, bitch. Too late now.
Yeah. Get on the train. It's moving fast.
We've seen it go all the way to Judge Jerry.
Yeah.
When I tell you, I was dying.
We were dead. We were dead.
So people like the fact that people believe that she's my daughter. I'm like, we look the same age. What do you mean? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, of course she's not my real troll. Do you think I would bring a real troll and like jeopardize my safety? Like, come on.
I know.
I'm curious about like, so did you reach out to the show with an idea? No.
No, their producer, one of the producers of Judge Jerry, reached out to me on Instagram. And I was like, I mean, I have a business email. You could just email my business email account if you really want to work with me. Like, I'm not really good at answering DMs like, I don't have DMs open in TikTok because it's too much. That's too much easy access to my mental health. And I don't.
Amen.
That's a no. And even in Instagram, like, if you don't follow each other or you don't accept it, you can see the comment, but you don't have to accept it. So it's like, I kind of pick and choose which DMs to reply to. Like, obviously, if you wrote me a paragraph, I'm going to reply to you because you actually put thought into it. But if you just wrote, I love you, it's like, I love you too. But like,
it's tough.
Yeah.
Right.
And I definitely don't answer the crazies. So
there's that like column of DMs where you have to like accept it, which is like, do you even go into that field where it's like, 3,000 requests? It's tough to even go there, right?
Yeah. And I mean, if I had the bandwidth, would I? I don't know, because I'm very protective. clearly I'm protective of my personal self, right?
Right.
Like people
Right.
don't know what my kids' names are. They don't know what my husband's name is. They don't even know what my kids look like unless like you're I physically share my picture with you. There's a reason for that. Like, don't come at me and ask me, oh my God, your kid's voice is so cute. Can we see him? No, that's creepy.
That's totally creepy.
I don't care if their voices are on camera because whatever, it's a little kid voice,
Yeah.
but you're not going to see my kid. Like, don't ask me that. That's weird.
You do a great job at that. We actually,
Yes.
I forget how it came up with Meredith. You go by Pinky, and we're like, "What's her real name?" And she's like, I'm
It's
not
Pinky.
going
It's
there.
tattooed.
It's tattooed. Oh, see?
Yes.
Pinky.
It wouldn't, if it wasn't a real name, I wouldn't have had it tattooed.
You wouldn't have had it tattooed.
Thank you.
And it's an old one. It's
So-
fuzzy. It's not even fresh. It's fuzzy.
I can't wait to use that on a bunch of my friends. I'll be like, your tattoo looks a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need a little bit of touch up. Maybe I'll put some hot pink in there now. I don't know.
Pixelated.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, it's pixelated. That's how you know, right? Like people, they
Yeah.
ask, they're like, that can't be your name. I'm like, no,
it can be.
And I show them my
Literally
wrist.
tattooed
Like,
on my
oh
wrist.
no. Yeah.
Wait, so more on Judge Jerry. So then,
Okay.
just because I'm like a TV freak
It
and I'm
was
curious.
gold.
So they reached out, and I mean, it's a legitimate claim, right?
Yeah.
For
So-
being reported.
Right. So the issue that I was having at the moment when this producer reached out was this past summer. I don't know who it is because TikTok doesn't tell you who reports you, but
right.
literally from June, so the beginning of June to the end of August, so 3 months, 3 full months, I was getting reported every week for something, and it was either bullying or harassment or sexual content and nudity. And I'm like,
Come
I'm
on.
the
Oh my
most
gosh.
clothed person on this
Ever.
app. I wear extra layers because I don't want to offend anybody. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
you see physically this much of me in my content,
Right.
and
Yeah.
how, like, unless I'm like topless, but it's just it's trolls, right? And so in June it started off with you've been banned for 24 hours, and then really it was just 16-hour ban. And then as the weeks progressed, I think at one point I was banned from posting for 10 days straight, and
What?
I was not like necessarily flipping out, but I just started getting stressed out because it's like up until then I was hitting a new million every 6 weeks. And so I was
Yeah.
like, this is totally messing up with my whole entire thing, you
Yeah.
know?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can probably tell who's done it. People who don't want me to succeed, right? People
Right.
who usually they say the ones that hurt you the most are the ones that you know in real life, right?
Yeah.
It's usually not a stranger on the internet. It's somebody who is like jealous of your success. So it's like, okay, I probably figured out who it is. Let's move on.
Right.
But at that point, my brand agent at Viral Nation, she's like, let's just focus on Instagram. Let's grow you there and other platforms, because
Yeah.
yes, TikTok is where you get your followers, but that's then you get those followers and you tell them to go follow you elsewhere because you
Yeah.
have better content
Yeah.
elsewhere.
Right.
And so once I started doing that, that's when I was like, okay, I can handle it mentally now. Like, so now I just use when I first started, I was posting 5 videos a day. Now, and it's not because I don't want to post 5 videos a day, but it's because I'm across so many platforms now.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like some platforms want unique things, like exclusive just to that platform. And then also just again, mental health headspace, right? Like
Yeah.
if there's only so much time in the day. And so we were talking about this, the producer, my brand agent, and I in a meeting, and she was like, that's perfect. You have your
Yeah.
troll. And she wanted me to like bring a real troll. And I was like, no,
No.
I am not. No, that's
No.
my personal safety. No, that is not happening. And so we went with, I called up a bunch of people who I know are pretty chill. They're not really like Meredith actually was the first one I called, and she
Yeah.
was like, she was ready to do it, but then we were like, no, we are starting to work with a manager, that we don't want you to come off as that. And we
Yeah.
didn't want it to be a brown versus white thing,
Yeah.
right? Like
Oh,
we didn't want it to get that bad.
Yeah.
Like that's always what I'm thinking about
Mm-hmm.
being
Mhm.
brown. It's like, and having friends that are not brown, I don't want them, like they're great people, and I don't want somebody to see just that video or just that 7-minute Judge Jerry clip and they're just like, oh my God, Meredith's horrible.
Yeah.
And so we're like,
Yeah.
no. So then my friend Brianka, who ended up going with me, she's been I've gotten her 2 jobs in the real world since I've met her. So it's like we're really good friends. Like I've gone and played with her kids, but people just don't realize. It's like, why don't you use your brain?
Come on.
Think about this a little bit more. Do you think somebody who is a social, like a content creator, would actually bring a hater on the show? Like,
come on,
you guys, like, and so we laughed, like when
course.
it came out on, you know, they announced it that okay, that it's gonna be on their YouTube channel, like Pinky Patel's daughter Priyanka, and we were just like cackling because we're like, daughter, like we look this like the same, like.
Oh my gosh.
And we thought it would be funny because, you know, Patel versus Patel.
Yeah.
There's so many Patels out there. And the fact that I do use an accent, like I mimic my mom and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like, we had fun. Like we had to coach her. We had to be like, look, do not look at Pinky. Otherwise you'll start laughing. Which is
know.
great.
She did
practiced
great.
so much. She did. Like, she did amazing.
Yeah.
Yes. We were like, just think about somebody you hate. Like we
Yeah.
kept coaching. We're like, think about somebody you absolutely hate. And pretend I am that person. And she was like, got it. I got it.
Got it. Oh my gosh, it was gold.
It was
gold.
Yeah.
Did they film that in Chicago?
No. So they flew us out to their NBC Universal Studios in Stamford.
Oh, okay.
And so we did that over there. And my whole goal was to try to get Jerry to laugh and the audience to laugh. Like that's always my goal, is to hear the laughter. So when I saw on his face, you could tell when I panned to him, he wanted to laugh.
Yeah.
Because because when I get worked up, I get worked up. It's just, that's how I roll. Like it happens. Like,
yeah.
I'm not going to apologize for it. I need to let it out. Otherwise my brain will start rotting. And like I said, I'm not hurting anybody's feelings. And so I just let it out. And then the more the audience started laughing, the more I got into it.
Yeah. Right? It was cool because like you were able to air your actual grievance, the problem that you were actually having. So it was cool.
I mean, would it have been better if I won? Absolutely. But it is what it is, you know? And I know it's like, I run the risk because I put content out. Of course, people are going to do that. And so I think my whole goal, because I've tried, and I'm not saying I'm the best researcher, but when I have an issue, I go to Google and I try to find an answer. Right. Mm-hmm. And so trying to post all this, post YouTube videos, post TikTok. Like I was this stupid idiot looking shit up on how to do things because I was like, I don't want to ask somebody, they're gonna think I'm stupid, right?
Yeah.
And back then I didn't have anybody to ask. Like now I can ask Meredith, I can ask Ashley, I can ask Daniel. Like I have friends now that I can ask.
Yeah.
Back then I didn't. So like just looking everything up, you know, there's nothing out there that tells you how to navigate the social media world as a creator. Like there's nothing, right? And then when you go from being a consumer to a creator, you basically, I don't think anybody does it on purpose. I think it just happens. Like some people are like, oh yeah, I totally wanted to be a YouTube star. No, you didn't, bitch. Sit down. You did not. You started talking in front of the camera and it took off and now here you are. Like it's, social media is a complete accident for everybody.
No rhyme or reason. It just happens.
And so I'm like, people need to know, like whoever's watching Judge Jerry in the middle of the day or whoever stumbles upon their YouTube channel, they need to know this is what happens in social media world. You get one or two haters and they go ham on your account. And what am I going to do? Right? Besides go on Judge Jerry and complain about it.
That's it. I was going to say, that's exactly what you do.
Now,
right. But I feel like now people know that this shit happens. Like I'm posting innocent stuff. Like I don't even, if you constantly reported Ashley, I would understand because she says swear, like she uses legit swear words. You know what I mean? Like she goes ham.
She does. So, she's my kind of girl. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I love it, you know, but I'm terrified to do it because I've got like the Brown against me and then that against me. And it's just like, I'm trying to play it safe here. So I don't even use real words. Like I use made up words for shit. It's ridiculous.
You do.
Yeah.
Wait, so did you know what the outcome would be on Judge Jerry?
No.
Oh, really?
So it was because when he does, like he hears your case back and forth, and it was all shot in one shot. Like there was no retakes. There was so I was just like, holy moly. Like, and it was just weird because like, that was my first time ever doing something like that ever.
Yeah.
And so when they're like miking you up and they're doing this and they're doing like, it's pretty surreal. Like this is my life. What is happening right now? And then like, you know, they're waiting to like open the swing door so you can walk out. And like before they open those doors and I was back there, I was like, okay. And then they opened those doors and I was like, boss. And then I just like, what? Like it was like a total flip of the switch. And like I'm like that now with my shows. Like I'll be in the green room, I'm like, okay. I'll be like pacing back and forth. And then the opener introduces me and I'm like, go! And I just go. It's like completely like they tell me, my friends that come with me, they're like, I would never have thought that you would have been nervous watching you just on stage if I wasn't in the green room with you beforehand. And I'm like, yeah, like 400 people looking at you and you're trying to make them laugh. Why would you not be nervous about that? That's crazy.
How can't you? Right.
Yeah, but no, we didn't. So the whole outcome, we go through it, and then he says what he says, and it's just like, what the fuck, Judge Jerry? Like,
Jerry,
you're ruining it for all of us. And Priyanka felt so bad. Like, she looked at me. I try not to look at her, but I could see from the corner of my eye.
Yeah.
She looked at me and she was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, don't worry. Like, we knew that would be a possibility.
Right.
Yeah.
I did it because like it was fucking fun. It was fun, you know, I'm okay. She's okay. We laugh now.
Right. Still laugh about it. Okay. So I'm pretty sure that we're coming to Cleveland, so we'll get to see you. And
yay!
The girl group,
the girl
gang of, I think, like probably the best girl group on TikTok you're a part of. And
yeah, because we're not douche canoe twat waffles.
You're literally, I said that to Nate. I was like, it seems like it was perfectly like created. And I was like, actually, it happened that way because they're not assholes.
Right.
Like they're all just good people who found each other.
I mean, the ones that are assholes we've gracefully exited.
They fall off, right?
There you go.
We're on different paths.
Yeah.
We're on different paths. And so we all kind of agree. You have your quintessential people who want to be influencers, and then you have your content creators.
Yeah.
And the reason there's a difference is because think about the definition of an influencer growing up, right? When social media started coming out, when people are like, oh my God, I only have 10,000 followers and I'm an influencer. It's like, bitch, you're not. Like, you're not an influencer. You have 10,000 people that think you're pretty. That's what you have.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole definition of influencer is someone who projects a perfect life and but in the background, like outside of this picture, it's a fucking mess.
Yeah.
Right. You only see this picture. I will show you my mess. Like, I have totes on the ground. My crowns are haphazard. Like, I'm the person that will show you the mess because that's real life. Right. Like, and that's why I never liked social media up until recently, is because I don't want to see fucking fake shit. Like, okay, great. You're a celebrity, but I also know you don't wake up looking like that. I want to see what you wake up looking like. I want to see you on the day where you are having the worst period cramps in the whole world, or the fact that you can't tell me that you're not even slightly depressed being in the celebrity world. I know what, like, I can't even imagine. I mean, I can imagine now, but back then I was like, don't just show me the perfect. I want to know the real. And so there's still people who are trying to do that, be that quintessential influencer. And it's like, do you know what happened this past 2 years?
Right.
Everybody's on social media now. So everybody knows that what you're posting is fake. And then also to have like
the word influencer itself even has like a negative connotation to me.
It does.
Like you're duping people, or you're like tricking them into doing something.
You're
right. No, there's always, for every clean room that they post, there are 5 rooms after that are a fucking shit show.
Exactly.
And that's in their home, in their personal life. And I'm just like, no, you know, like if I'm having a bad day, I won't post because I'm having a bad day. I'm not going to pretend to be happy and it's not me being an asshole. It's like, okay, I'm not going to pretend to be happy for 700,000 people on Instagram because they don't know me. They don't know the mental struggles I'm going through. And when they realize, oh, well, you seem like, they'll call it out. And sometimes they'll be like, oh, you seem really sad in this video. You don't seem like yourself. I'll make a post and be like, I'm having a rough couple of weeks or a couple of days. I'm just trying to figure it out. Thank you all for those that you noticed and said something. You know, I just didn't want to leave you hanging. But I get too many comments on content. I can't sit there and go through every single comment. Like, I still have a day job. My family's always going to come first. Social media and being famous is not going to come first.
Yeah.
It's always going to be my family. And I've told talent agents that I've interviewed, I've told managers I've interviewed, like, these things are non-negotiable. If you're not on the same mental state as I am in regards to, okay, well, Pinky's family's number one, then maybe we don't need to work together, right? There's a lot more managers out there. There's a lot more. And so you realize that with your friends that you make on social media, because you want people who you could talk to about these things, right? I can't talk to my forever PP about it. He's a consumer. He's not a creator, right? So you can't talk to, he's a consumer. I don't like my family members, again, they're consumers. They don't know the opposite side of content creating and
Right.
like how careful you have to be now in what you say and how you say it, because God forbid you offend one person that had a bad day that day. It's like, I can't, and going back to what you said, Nate, don't call me an influencer. I'm not I don't want that title.
Yeah.
I don't brag about it. Like when I go to shows, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a social media influencer. No, I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah.
I just make people, I'm a comedian. I will take that title to my grave. I will say I'm a content creator because that's what I do. I make content to make people laugh, but I'm not going to show you a fake life. And you realize some people in your group want that. And so it's like, okay, you go over there and do that. Don't include me. I'm going to be here doing it. We're fine.
And you can find like your true following that way too, right?
Yeah.
If you are more yourself and, you're not
staying authentic.
Yeah. Staying authentic and creating this mirage of bullshit.
Yeah. Like you can't be the type of person that goes from within a year goes through 3 different groups of people to be friends with. And it's like,
red flag.
What are you doing? Like, this is not good for your mental state. Like, are you trying to find real connections, or are you just trying to see if I make content with this person, boom, my views go up? Yeah. It's like, okay, well then you're, at the end of the day, you're selfish, and you don't complain to me that you're looking for friends, because you're really not. You're not looking for real connections out there. You're just looking for somebody who could get you to that next million followers. And it's like, I'm sorry that you've been doing this a lot longer than I have, and I've surpassed you. That's not my fault. That's a you problem, not a me problem. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So
I want to talk about the comedy tour.
Yes.
Abby's like, I don't care about that. Let's talk about the comedy tour.
I want to talk about your comedy tour.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Obviously, you've always been like a funny person, but have you always wanted to do something like that? Did you do comedy before you were doing TikTok? How did the comedy tour kind of come to be?
I used to be severely stage fright. Like I would be terrified of getting on stage. I'm
thinking about you doing your first show, and I'm sweating through these 2 shirts that I have on.
No. It again, everything that has happened with all of this has been just not a series of unfortunate events, because I can't say that, but it's just been a series of events, and it just like one thing has led to another thing, which has led to another thing, right? And I'm lucky. I'm not going to deny it, right? I'm super lucky with the chips that I've been dealt, or cards I've been dealt, or whatever the saying is. But so before I had my meet and greet in July, the general manager, Stephanie, of the Chicago Improv Comedy Club here in Woodridge at the mall, she reached out to me and she's like, hey, I wanted to talk to you about performing. And I was like, say what? And so I was like, okay, cool. Like, I was like, maybe I should start doing stand-up. Like I wanted, like, that's at the point where I was like, I want to see if I could cut it. Maybe it's summertime. Maybe I can go downtown, do some open mic nights. Like my head was already there. And open mic is 10 minutes. I can rant about anything for 10 minutes. I can fucking rant about produce for 10 minutes. Shit. And just the fact that I get fired up and it goes wild.
Yeah.
But she reached out before that, and I was like, we had this meet and greet for 3 hours here in the Chicago area. The first 2 hours were pictures with everybody, because I was like, no, these people are coming from a long ways, right? And so I was like, I want to make sure I take a picture with everybody. So it took 2 hours to get through 500 people pictures.
Yeah.
And then and I was just, my face was hurting because I had never smiled. So not even at my wedding did I smile that much. That is how much my face hurt. And I kept like doing this, like massaging my face. But then at the end of that, I got on stage and I kind of answered a couple of questions, like just again, how did all this start and all that stuff. And I told Stephanie, I was like, let me do that stage portion because I want to see how I feel, and then I'll get back to you. And she was like, absolutely. So then she did. I got back to her the week after the meet and greet, and we were talking. And again, my whole head is like, okay, well, I'll just be an opener for somebody who's headlining, right?
Sure.
Like I could do 20 minutes. 20 minutes is amazing. I just talk about my mom for 20 minutes and there you go. Like she's the biggest inspiration ever.
Yeah.
And then during that conversation, that hour-long conversation with Stephanie, she's like, yeah, you'll write your material. We'll get you an opener if you want. If not, and that's when I was like, wait, say what? Like you want me to headline? Like what?
Back it up.
Can we just what? she's like, yeah, I think if you could write 45 to an hour worth of material, you'll be good. And I was like, what gives you all of this confidence that I could do this?
That's amazing.
She's like, I've been following you for a while, and I feel like you have the material, you have your open mic 10-minute sessions that you've done. Like 10 videos is 10 minutes, right? Like, and I can go back and I can be like, okay, well, this was funny, and I can incorporate it. How did I come up with that response? How did I do this? Whatever. And the rest is history, as they say. And so she took a chance on me. She's still kind of like, she's the one that booked she booked all of the shows that I did this year from October 3rd, my first one, to now. She booked a lot of the ones that I just posted like last or 2 weeks ago for next year, the beginning of next year. And then my manager is kind of finishing those up. And then she's getting additional ones for next year. So
that's amazing.
It's just haphazard, just by chance. That's how it happened. And
is it
here
like,
we are.
It's got to be such a different rush from like you're at your house on your phone recording a video and then you post it, like being with an audience. Is it like?
No. It's pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie about it. It's pretty amazing to like get up there and to see all the crowns in the audience.
I love that.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I think I'm just gonna start putting on my posts when I post about show dates. I'm like, crowns encouraged, because that's one question I get a lot. They're like, can we wear crowns? It's like, fuck yeah, you can wear crowns. You can wear 10 crowns. I don't care. Like, I'm wearing a crown. I have these crowns. I'm wearing them. I don't care. Like, I have to. They're too pretty to just keep in my vagina cave down here. Like, they're too pretty, you know? And so just to like see the crowns, and I know in Nashville, because they were closer, because it was like a more shallower venue versus like a deeper, like the improvs are deeper. So I really honestly can only see like 4 rows back because of the lights and how they dim the audience so that you can see my slides behind me. And like, I was sitting there, I was like, I have that crown. I felt like I did it for like 30 seconds. I'm like, I have that one, and that, like, no, it's such a rush. And then like, right now I make it a point at the end of the show to like take a selfie, just because I feel like I kind of have to this first year. After that, I might stop, unless I do like my first big theater. Like if I do Chicago theater, then I'll have to take another selfie, you know, and just to like.
I always think about how to repurpose content, and you need maybe one of your roommates following you with a camera for YouTube, behind the scenes, document
the show.
The shows,
Well, like, so I don't travel alone. I always have a friend that travels with me, and so we buy the friend's ticket, whoever the friend is, and you know, the club pays for my stuff, so like I'm covered. So it's like, you might as well, that way I'm safe and it's not an issue. And so this past show in Nashville and Huntsville, I had my friend who was with me. I'm like, Marta, I need you to do this, this, and this, because when I get to the venue, if I don't get there early enough, then I have to stay in the green room. So I can't, like, so when they open the doors, right, they open the doors an hour before the show starts for people to come in, to get drinks, to get food, whatever. So for that hour before the show starts, I'm stuck in the green room. Like, I can't, there's no way I can go and do mic check and tech check while people are coming in. They'll go apeshit crazy. I'm trying to do that, you know?
Impossible.
And so as soon as I do that stuff, so I try to get to the show, like the venue, an hour and a half before. So for half an hour, I'll do mic check, tech check, all that. And then I am in the green room. So I can't take pictures, right? I can't take pictures of the line outside. I can't take pictures of people coming in or during the show because I'm on stage. So my friend Marta was doing that. And so we like, because we work in the corporate world, after the shows, we were like, okay, this is what everybody who travels with Pinky has to do. And like, we're writing stuff down. Like,
here's the job aid.
Here's the job aid. Seriously, I'm probably going to like type it out and laminate it and be like, whoever's with me next, here you go. Like, this is all the stuff I need help with, because you think I'm room locked, right? Like, I'm locked into that room because safety first. And it's all love, and I get it. People are just so excited to be there. They're just so excited to see me in the flesh. Like, oh my God, she's real. I'm like, I'm not that big of a deal. Relax. Like, it's just like, oh my gosh, she's so tiny. I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm in the green room, because I'm tiny. Go.
We recently talked to Natalie, and she said that she writes all of your material for you.
Parody mom?
Yeah,
of course. No.
I do. She was like, tell her that I said that.
She has, though. She's like read some of it. So when I wrote the material for this tour, I had her and then the girls read it just to make sure it kind of flowed.
Yeah.
Because I hate the comedians who like jump from one topic to another, and I'm like, how does this go together? This is like a Simpsons episode. You started here in the beginning and you ended
right.
here, and they have no correlation between the two. So I did. I had Natalie, I had Meredith, Ashley, all of them just read the content, make sure it made sense. And then I did a dry run and I sent it to them. I was like, does this make sense? And then it's just been tweaking it after every show, right? Try to interject some local stuff just so it's not like, oh, she doesn't care that she's in Nashville. It's like, I don't care, but it's okay. I've been here before. Like, it's cold. I'm not going to go to Broadway and go bar hopping. Look at me. I'm tired. Like, come on.
Yeah. I want to touch on too, how you talked about like, you know, finding management and interviewing people to like make sure they understand, you know, your family comes first, all of that. Can you tell us just a little bit about like the process of how you found your management team?
I signed with Viral Nation Talent in May, right? End of May, beginning of June. And they deal with mostly brand deals. Like they don't have like a live, like a department that handles live performances and stuff like that, because that's not their bread and butter. Their bread and butter is working with social media influencers and getting them brand deals and making sure they're getting compensated appropriately. So after this conversation with Stephanie, and I started, you know, Stephanie started booking me more and more shows. I was like, Alicia, I think this is going to be a real thing. I don't know, you know, if you are not equipped for this, I need to know this, because we need to
don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
You need to help me get some sort of representation to help me figure this out, because I can't really, like, Stephanie's doing it out of the goodness of her heart, right? She has her own jobs. Like, she has 3 clubs she manages here in Chicago area. Like, I want to be conscious of her time as well, you know? And so Alicia reached out, like, within Viral Nation, reached out to some managers that other talent has, and then just connected me with, I think I talked to like 4 of them, and then I finally went with who I went with. Main reason, so I like 2. I was also interviewing Meredith's manager, Philip, and then I was like, you know what? Meredith and I kind of are on a similar, like, yes, she's not like doing the whole comedian thing, but like we both would love to get into voice acting. We both would love to do kind of like real act, you know, stuff like that. And so I didn't want there to be a situation where Philip had to pick between giving me the opportunity or giving Meredith the opportunity. And so I was like, okay, I think I'm going to go this way. And that's how I ended up with the person I ended up with. But with each and every one, I was like, you know, I'm going to be the Indian Betty White. Like, that's where this is going. Like, I don't feel like I'm going to die anytime soon. I want to get into whatever, you know, if it ends up being, let's do 2 tours, and then the 3rd one is like we branch into larger venues, like larger theaters, Netflix deals, like comedy special deals, HBO comedy special deal, like wherever there's a comedy deal, like that's where I want to go, you know, like, and so I have this document of just like vision board stuff, and I just start putting stuff on there. And then I will share it with my manager. I'm like, I know Netflix.
You have to put it out there. You have to speak it and share it with someone, right?
Right. I was like, you know, next year when I do the New York Comedy Festival, I want good days and good dates. And I feel like I warrant that, because I've been selling out. Like, every single venue I've been to, I've sold out every single venue. And I'm like, why would you just put me in a 90 capacity venue for New York Comedy Week? Like, you Comedy Festival, like you obviously shortchange yourself. And so for next year, I was like, can we just be a little bit better with the scheduling? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. And like, Netflix does a comedy festival right now. They just have people who have done specials, but I was like, can we put that on the vision board? Like, who wouldn't want to be part of a Netflix comedy special? You know what I mean? Like, that's amazing. So yeah, that's how it all happened.
I love it. We're on a fast moving train, kids. Hang on.
It's extremely fast, and it's like, I'm the fast thinker. Like, we're complete opposites. So my forever PP is like, let's think about this, let's research it, let's like cross all our T's, dot all our I's. I'm like, you know what? If a T looks like an L, is that really a bad thing? It's not. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going, you know.
Do you have in your mind at a certain level or a certain point where you would resign from your day job or sort of shift the focus full time on this development?
I'm really trying to be super cautious of if I do quit my day job, obviously let's not burn bridges in case I have to go back to it.
Of course, yeah.
Absolutely.
And everybody's like, Pinky, I don't think you understand. You're not going back to your day job. Like once you quit, it's pretty much done. Like game on Donkey Kong. Like you are not going back. You might think you need you need that safety net. And I'm like, it makes me feel better to not be like, peace out, douche canoes, and leave. Like I'm not that type of person.
Yeah.
I'm very like I would stress out about the people I'm leaving behind in my tasks and how they would get distributed. Like, and do they have the time? Like, and I know I shouldn't think about that kind of stuff, right? It's like, why do you even care? You're not going to be there anymore. I'm like, yeah, but my friend's there. And so she's just like, when are you going to tell me the bad news? Like, not yet. You'll be the first one to know if that happens. Would I like to happen sooner rather than later? Yeah, because I want to, the one thing that I did tell my manager is I'm not going to travel every weekend for shows. I'm going to travel every other weekend for shows. So that means twice a month. Because I still have a family that I need to maintain, and I think that's more than enough, traveling twice a month to do shows, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Like those 5 days I would be, so 10 days total out of the month. Right. And so I feel like that's more than enough. Now, if somebody gives me a multi-million-dollar deal to do a tour nationwide, that's multi-million-dollars. Of course, I'm not going to be an idiot. So I want to be prepared, and I don't want to have to blitz quit and be like, I can't give 2 weeks. I can only give 3 days. Because again, I'm not trying to burn any bridges. I'm trying to be an adult about this because I'm not 18 who doesn't care about the future. I am, 40 who cares about the future. I got kids to put through college. Like I want to make sure it's a good decision to make. But it's going to happen next year. I don't know when, but it's probably going to, because it's getting to the point where it's like, I'm getting a little stretched thin, and I don't want to half-ass anything. Like I don't want to half-ass being a parent. I don't want to half-ass comedy shows. Like I don't want to show up at a comedy show tired,
exhausted.
Right, because I was busy making sure that all my 9-to-5 job was settled for having to take days off. Right. There's only so many days I'm going to get in a year to take off for shows, and so that plays into it. So
I think I completely understand like that safety net, and there might be a little bit of self-doubt mixed in there about what may happen. But I think being able to, shift that whole other like 50% of your like mental capacity or like the bandwidth that you have into like content and material for the show and stuff, I think will just accelerate it even more.
Yeah. And then there'll be a whole additional genre of comedy, corporate life comedy that I don't do right now. Because I definitely don't want people to be like, oh my gosh, she's talking about me. Bitch, I'm talking about you. I hate you. You're a horrible person. Horrible person.
God,
and again, I don't use people's real names. I don't. But if you work closely with these people, you'll know, oh, she's talking about that girl. She's talking like, I'm not going to use your real name ever. I'm not going to use your picture. I probably shouldn't just blur your face out, because then a picture says 1,000 words, right? I don't even need to talk half the time when I put a picture up. So,
but who the fuck you is.
Yeah,
who the
she knows. They know. They know.
Did you grow up in Chicago?
I did not. I grew up in Connecticut.
Oh, right. Your mom.
You don't have to say where. My dad.
No, I grew up. They don't live there now, so it's not a big deal. I grew up in Danbury, Connecticut. So it was like 45 an hour outside of Manhattan. Yeah. And I used to go to UConn, which is how Meredith and I connected. Because she made a comment about UConn in her video, and I was like, oh, you mean welcome to the jungle? Because that's what they called one of the dorm rooms there. And she's like, oh my God, you went to UConn? I was like, yeah, I did. And the rest is history.
I used to party at UConn. That place is no joke.
Yeah, it is. And but I had to switch colleges because I didn't have my major, and so then I ended up going to college. I went to finish school at the New York School of Interior Design on the Upper East Side. So I ended up commuting to Manhattan pretty much 3 or 4 days a week just to finish school and stuff, and I liked it. It was good. It made me feel worldly. Like,
sure.
I could just go to the city and go to school.
City girl.
I know.
So fun.
So,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So you went for interior design.
I did. You can't tell. Clearly.
It's actually funny. My mom's an interior designer, and then you go to her house and you're like, are you sure?
Yeah. Well, it's like they say,
here?
the plumbers have the worst plumbing, the doctors have the sickest kids because they're so busy doing it for other people. They don't want to, like, but with this room, with my office, I like took I measured out the walls and I drew it on the software and I drew the furniture and was like, okay, well, if we get this from IKEA, then I can do this. And if we get, my husband was like, you're crazy. I was like, no, it's the pandemonium and I'm bored. Like, I need something.
Yeah.
But again, there's a reason why I don't show the rest of my house or too much of the rest of my house. Because if you come up to a window, you'd be like, oh yeah, that is her house. Like, what are you doing? Get away from my house. I don't know you. Like,
that's scary.
Grapes.
Yeah.
What's your earworm TikTok sound right now?
It's the 1000% no. Like that. I know I don't say it right. But I have been going through life.
Immediately
no. Immediately no. 1000%. Immediately no. Like, I do that to my kids, or like when my roommate number 2 is eating, I'll go behind him and I'm like, good soup. He's like, get the fuck away. He hates
That's a good one. Good soup.
Yeah,
I like it.
Like I get real close and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He's like, what? Soup. Get away from me, Bob. So yeah,
that's so funny.
Are your kids old enough to be on TikTok?
The older one is. So roommate number 2 is 15.
Okay.
But roommate number 3 is 9. So no, he is not. He doesn't even have a cell phone. Although I don't know if it's better or not, but he's on YouTube, and that girl with the glasses, I don't know her name, something Wolf, Steppenwolf or something. They tried to tell me. I hate her. She's got an annoying voice.
Don't know.
I don't hate her. I mean, I don't know her personally to hate her, but like I hear her on the screen and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing, roommate number 3? You put
roommate number 3.
Yeah, I'm like, you put this on because you know mama hates her, and because she takes TikToks and she just does reactions, but her reactions are so stale, and I'm just like,
got it.
She's like those people that duet things and just look at like,
I know.
Like, why are you duetting?
They don't react. Yeah.
They don't react. They're just standing there like watching. It's like, or they just show this much of them.
Yeah. Because they're in bed.
Yeah.
Right. And you clicked post on that? Not
draft? You thought this was a good idea?
Right.
Like,
what does your 15-year-old think of all your amazing accomplishments? Is it like,
I asked him before I was on WGN News because they sent me a list of questions, and so I was asking him so I could get real answers. And like no one's gonna know if it's a real answer or not, right? Only I would know.
Yeah.
But I have this thing with like karma, and I'm like, I don't want to jinx anything, and so when I say something, I want it to come from a place of truth. Like, and I do this in my like normal personal life too. Like, there's things where it's like, did you really have to tell your husband? I'm like, no, if I didn't, it just would be bad. It would be a bad result. And so there's no, like, I have to, and people are just like, you're so weird. I'm like, no, I don't want any backlash, And so I asked him, I was like, what do you think of all of this stuff? We call it stuff.
Yeah.
I try to stay away from famous, like the words famous, influencer, celebrity. It's just weird right now. I know it is what it is. I mean, I have a writer list for the green room of like, I think that means that you're a celebrity,
Yeah.
Like,
what do you put?
Yeah, what's
not
on
so
it?
many influencers. I don't have anything crazy. Relax, Abby. I don't have anything. I have spring water.
Tell me what's on the list.
I hate purified water, so I have spring water. Like I just hate purified water.
Any
and
booze?
right now, right now it's emergency because I forget to travel with it, and I feel like I need it. But I think at one point I'm probably gonna put like hot pink almond peanut M&Ms because I love peanut M&Ms, but
Only
like I want pink ones.
Yeah.
Like why not?
Yeah.
Nothing crazy yet. Nothing. I don't think I'm at that level where I could do crazy. In my writer list might evolve. I didn't even know what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
My husband had to tell me, and I'm just like, you were sitting here while we were in a meeting with my manager and her assistant, and her assistant Turner asked, what do you have on your writer list? I was like, what is that? Like, I don't have no idea what you just said. And she saw my face and she had to explain it. She's like, it's like, are there any specific things you want in your green room? Like non-negotiable. I was like, and I started laughing. I was like, are you kidding me? I'm not allowed to do that yet.
I think about this once a month, and I would write like 11 Pringles,
No.
45 M&Ms.
You bitch.
1.5 cups of water.
No.
Yeah.
I told her it probably would change once the roommates start traveling with me. So we're trying to do Canada
Totally.
tour in the summer, and just so we can I could double it up as vacation. They get to see the country, like they get to see the world with me, right? Like let's bring people along the ride. But
I could see
going
like
back to your original question,
pinky
bus.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
that would be amazing.
That would be badass.
We would have
Tour
a
bus.
trail of cars behind me. Like
And,
it would not be good.
The license
be like
plate
a
would have a
hot
crown.
Yeah, it'd be a hot pink bus. That would be
like
amazing.
a crooked
Fuck yeah.
crown on the back of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So cute.
But going back to your original, so I asked him, what do you think of all this stuff? And he's like, you know what? I'm just glad I don't have to deal with the crazy anymore. There's other people that gets to see the crazy. And I'm like, are you fucking what? You're such an asshole.
I'm happy those other people took you off my hands.
Yeah, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Basically.
That's so funny.
Yeah. But
I love that.
Yeah, he's just like me in the whole sarcasm department. So it's good. It's good.
What's something that you would like your followers to hear or take away from hearing you on the podcast today?
Don't take social media seriously.
Yeah.
Like there are parts of social media that you can take seriously. Clearly, we've learned this past year. But do your own research, right? Like if you feel like you come upon content and it doesn't sit right with you, and you go to that person's page and all of their content is like that, block them. Don't waste your energy. Report them if you want to, but do your research. Don't report somebody based on one video that you've seen. Don't be too trigger happy with your fingers just because they're easy. It's easy to be trigger happy. But the amount of time you invest into writing nasty comments or horrible comments on a video, you could have been doing something more positive with your life, right? So don't take social media seriously. Be super aware of what you're watching, like what you're taking in. Like don't just be mindlessly on social. And this is what I tell my kids, right? Like don't just watch shit to watch shit. Like I get it, you need to tune out, and that's perfectly fine. We all do it. We've been doing it for this past 18 months, but don't go with the flow. Like half the time, you can't just be like, oh, well, everybody else says you're horrible, so you must be horrible. Do your own research. Like make your own decisions on people and follow people who you actually like. This is not a race to see how many people you can follow.
Yes.
Right? It's not like, oh my God, why do you have, and I get this question all the time. Why do you have 4.5 million followers on TikTok, but you only follow 100 people? It's like, because those people are people that I genuinely like their content. You should only be following somebody because you genuinely like their content. And it shouldn't matter if I have 4.5 million or 10 million or 23 million people that follow me and I only follow 100 people. That's my business, why I follow those 100 people. Maybe it's because I actually like keeping up with the people that I follow. Maybe it's because I want to know, that this is going on in Meredith's life, so I could reach out to her via either DM or text and be like, hey, how's it going? Your content's been a little off. Are you okay? Because I genuinely care about people. Like I want to get to know them, which is why I follow them. And it takes a lot to make me laugh. So if you can make me laugh, you're probably good people. And so that's like, And so it's like, you got to be aware. You can't just be a mindless consumer. Right. And that's what I've noticed these past 18 months. And I want people to just realize that you got to do your own research, man. You got to follow who you want to follow, not because the norm is following these people. Like if you don't agree with their lifestyle, then we're adults. You don't have to follow them. You don't have to support them. There's 7 billion people on this earth, on this planet.
Find someone you do.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like what happens when you don't like something on TV? What do? You
You
either turn the TV off or you change the channel.
Yeah. Well, Pinky, we are doing our first crossover episode on the day of your release. So we have a I got a quick surprise for you.
Okay, go. I'm waiting. Patiently, I'm waiting.
Too.
Hang on.
Fuckers!
What are you doing?
Hello.
Where's my crown?
I don't know. I gave you one. Where the hell is it?
I know, it's downstairs. It's hello. My My kids are downstairs. I wore my favorite shirt for you guys too.
Yes!
David Tree, eat a beaver.
That's amazing.
My favorite. Oh my gosh. Hello, Pinky. Your
Hi.
beautiful face.
We had the best talk with Pinky. And
Of course
The
you did.
best. I got them ready for you.
Yeah, she warmed us up. We're real loose.
Oof, yeah, just how I like it.
Oh man, I am leaving.
Perfect.
Abby's like, no, 1000% no.
I'm ready to receive you.
Yeah,
they're ready.
Loose and ready to receive. Are you two the same height?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just girthier. I'm girthier. So I can like.
I prefer the girth. I actually prefer the girth.
Team girth. Hashtag team girth.
Pinky, I'm 6'5", so I told Ashley like when we meet we have to do like she like jumps on my back or like something
like
ridiculous.
A spider monkey.
Like spider monkey, right?
Yeah. I'll spot you, Nate. So I'll be in the front spotting you. You don't want me on your back. I will break you in half, boyfriend.
No,
and then
you will not.
Come behind. She'll come from behind while I'm bracing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I couldn't.
And then
ask
Meredith
for
will be
but...
behind you, giving you the ill grill because she's spider monkeying you and not Meredith. We got it. We got to figure it out.
We've got a plan. We've got a plan in place. Everybody says that when they meet Pinky, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you are so tiny." I was not.
I'm telling of that.
expecting that. Like they're like, "Wait, what?" Like they're expecting to look up at you, and they're like, "What's happening? What's happening?"
Bigger than life personality and humor and.
It's the crown. Yeah, that adds another 4 inches.
Right.
So between the big hair, don't care, and the crown, that's
like
where 5 inches is.
Yeah, 5'5", exactly.
Pinky, what's something you were surprised about when you met Ashley?
Her energy. Like, she knows this. I've said it. I'm like, how do you have all of this energy? I don't understand. So, because, obviously, when you talk to me in real life, you're like, whoa. You have a real voice. You talk like normal people.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, got you suckers, stuff like that. So like the fact that the energy is definitely the same in content as in person. It's mine. Like, where do you get this? What kind of crack cocaine are you on? Can I have some? I need help.
No
I
drugs.
saw you guys. Yeah, I saw you guys on
all natural. And that's even scarier. It's all natural.
It is. I do drink coffee. But for the most part, yes. It's very obnoxious, especially in the morning, to people that are not aware.
Yeah.
I'm the same way, though. I wake up excited for the day.
I do too.
Yeah, she jumps in the middle of the bed. We're just like sleeping, and it's like, well, if you wanted to sleep with Meredith, you could have. It's not my fault. Meredith passed out.
I wanted to sleep with you as well. I wanted to be sandwiched in between you two.
Like, so
I fit so perfectly. You have to admit, Pinky, I fit so perfectly in between you. It's like that spot was made for me.
It was made for you.
It was just the perfect amount of spot just for my body.
Absolutely. 1,000%, yes.
Pinky is a solid sleeper as well. We were in New York and we were doing after the comedy show, she had a lot a shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had also had a lot of fireball shots.
Well, okay, we're not bragging. Okay. Yeah. So
I am.
She is.
I am a little bit. I'm a little bit.
There was just one too many fireballs. It happens. And it was a stressful week. And so I ended up just leaving I was like, I'm leaving. And so luckily there were some other girls that came with me and it was the Uber driver was probably, because again, I don't want to cause problems for other people. I was like, sir, you're going to want to pull over. And he's like, oh God. So he pulls over. I'm like,
Continue on.
This is an
and then I would get back in the car and he'd go, and I'm like, sir, one more time, sir. And I was very polite. And then I go again, just to get it out of my system. And then we get back to the room, and this lady was walking by. Meredith grabbed my jacket, my sequins jacket, was like, there's nothing to see here, covering me. I was like, there's no fucking paparazzi. What are you doing? I'm not at that level. This is good practice for future, but I'm sure it's never going to happen again.
Right.
Never, because I will make sure I have water in between each fireball shot. And then I got home, or we got to the room, and I just passed out, full makeup, passed out. I did not care.
passed out.
Meredith's like
Snoring.
taking my shoes off. She's like taking my leggings off. I was like,
Snoring.
what are you doing?
Sound asleep. Meanwhile, we're all making TikToks right next to her. I mean,
Right.
literally, like
Because I had earplugs in.
2 feet away. We were so loud.
I
We
know.
were so loud, and you did not. And then we went on live a couple times.
Yeah.
I don't quite recall how many times I went on live. Too many,
There was
probably.
McDonald's that was ordered. I was like, I missed out on
I was eating
McDonald's.
French fries at some point. I didn't know how they got in my mouth, but there they were. Story of my life.
Right.
And then people were like, Pinky, where's Pinky? And I'm like, oh, shh,
Yeah,
the little
yeah.
baby's sleeping. And so I like sneak over, and I like got like right in her face, and you could just hear.
Oh.
Like, and everybody was like, how is she sleeping? Like, you guys are 2 feet away being so fucking loud. And then Pinky's just
Done.
so
I'm like a
little
paranoid-
baby. It was amazing.
I'm
It
a
was
paranoid
amazing.
sleeper too. I have anxiety if I sleep in a room with other people.
Cleveland's gonna be tough for you, pal.
I know. Pinky, we appreciate your time today.
Yes.
Thank you for
thank
having
so much.
me.
Hopefully this is let's keep in touch. Hopefully we will.
You know where to
see
find
soon.
me.
Yeah.
You know where to find me. In
Vagina
my
cave.
vagina cave.
In your
my
vagina cave.
I think my favorite is Forever PP.
Yeah.
Your favorite.
I have
Comment.
merch now with Forever PP on it.
Forever
Yes.
PP.
Oh my
Think to
gosh,
buy.
that's the one that I'm gonna buy. Only
Yeah.
because I said his name on live the other night. I feel really bad about that.
You don't need to feel bad. He's fine. I don't think
Okay.
anybody picked up on it because our names are so foreign. They're just like,
She said
What?
"Did you say sounds? Yeah, I just said sounds.
Are those just sounds?
Yeah, those just sounds my body makes involuntary. Like,
I'm
no,
gonna have
thank
to
you
buy
guys
that
for having
too.
me. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, super fun. All the best. We will see you on Netflix soon, my friend.
We'll see.
Yes.
We'll see. Have fun
20
talking to Ashley.
Oh, you know
2022.
it. Yeah.
She's like, good luck. Bye. Bye, bitches.
Hey there. Thanks so much for listening today and supporting the show. Make sure you hit that subscribe button now so you never miss an upload. We're back every Monday with new episodes available wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Also, follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Social Influence Pod for the latest updates on the show and to let us know what influencers you'd like to hear from. Head over to iTunes to rate and review The Influence, a social media podcast, and we'll see you next Monday for another peek behind the upload.
Y'all have a blessed day.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye now. This is the motherfucking new podcast.